the hunt for the quarterback. Obviously, I know when I get back there, if he wants to squirm, if he wants to run, or if he wants to just take the hit like a good veteran. Quick and vicious movement to the ground to end that play, and I think respect and fear go hand in hand in this game. When you have guys fear you, they quiver, they twitch, they know you're getting ready to bring a lot of hurt to them.
Well, look quickly at the trajectory here. Ndamukong Suh was released from the Dolphins on Wednesday. His first visit was to the Saints on Saturday, then off to Tennessee. He went to meet with the Titans on Sunday, and then today he makes his way to the West Coast to meet with the Los Angeles Rams. There have been some changes to this defense, so we're going to go through the depth chart. Then we'll talk a little bit about what it might look like should Ndamukong Suh land in Los Angeles, Jeff. So take us through it.
Yeah, let's just talk about it. We got Talib came over from Denver. Webster is going to be out here. Marcus Peters is going to take Johnson's spot. Man coverage, anybody? I mean, I absolutely.
Anyone?
Uncle Wade, Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator, is all kinds of excited about both these corners and what he wants to do on the back end of this defense. Both of these guys are strong players. They got bravado. They have swag. They have everything you need from two guys, cover corners. That's what they're going to look like. And then what we just talked about. Let's bring Suh in for Westbrooks. Now you have Donald, Brockers, and Suh. When it gets into nickel, you bring another guy down. All of a sudden, this thing gets hectic on the inside. Listen, if that happened, those two guys, Donald and Suh, lined up on the inside would be an absolute nightmare for any offensive line in the league, because you can't double both. Unless you slide protect every single play, which is very difficult to do to get your routes out, it will be an all-day affair.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's always a solution, I guess, but what is the remedy there with those two? I mean, it can't be, it's not obvious.
Again, you change when you have that type of dynamic, when you know you're going to get man coverage behind it, so the ball can't come out fast because they can press down on you, right? So now all of a sudden you have to hold the ball. They know it. These things work in concert, right? I mean, the front getting there and the coverage behind it, all of that works in concert. But with Donald and Suh, if you can line up over both guards and still be able to get pass rush with just four, which is what they want to do, it is, I'm telling you, it is a big headache for an offensive lineman, as you can imagine, when you line up. And there's some fear that does go from guards and centers when you get matched one-on-one, because it's the quickest access to the QB. It's not like a left tackle who has some time. That thing you miss and whiff, and all of a sudden your QB's getting smoked.
We talked about New Orleans. We talked about Tennessee, now Los Angeles. Where, in your mind, Josina, does Ndamukong Suh either land or fit the best?
Well, I would love to see him with this team, just because I think the personality and what they're already building in that NFC West, that would be really good. But even just one of the things I wanted to mention here, if you remember, when the Broncos lost to the Seahawks, they got Aqib Talib, because you know what the Seahawks brought out in the Broncos? That they were a finesse team. They needed some alpha personality, some physicality. So that is what you get with Talib. And also with Marcus Peters, both of these guys bringing that alpha personality, giving you that physicality. I think every team needs that to move that swag stick. I'm always talking about that. And then you're talking about like a guy like Ndamukong Suh, who led the NFL in defensive snaps, led the NFL in batted passes since he came down to Miami. And as good as this defensive line is, this defense just ranked 19th last season. So there's room for him to bring the nasty, reach back into that alter ego from Nebraska, remind us of that sack master he used to be coming out of college, and bring the thunder right here.
You know, because it never quite came together in Miami, and there were a lot of reasons. I'm not sure it was a good marriage to begin with.
Well, and you heard, you heard Josina, the reality is when Suh's playing every single snap, it limits your effectiveness. I don't care what player you are, you fatigue when they know they can double you and hammer on you. So when you get in this situation with easily the rotation that Wade can provide and bring in a fresh body, it puts you in the best situation to succeed. That's what you're looking for as you age in the league, is put me in a situation where physically I can stay fresh, and then I can show you what I have when I get my one-on-one matchups. I don't got to live in the trenches of getting beat up each and every play.
Whether it's physical or mental or a combination of the two, the inconsistency has plagued him a little bit over the past few seasons, or at least that's the complaint you hear. If you're able to eliminate that or reduce it, watch out.
And I just want to add a little context there, too, because remember when he came down to Miami, they had some changes in coaches and what have you. Vance Joseph left. Matter of fact, the first 3 years he was in Miami, the run defense actually went down. And then they had this last defensive coordinator after Vance Joseph went to Denver, and it actually went back up. But he has room to get better. I talked to some coaches yesterday with the Rams. They are excited that he is in the building. They want to hear how he thinks. They want to hear how he talks, and they want to pick his brain a little bit to see how he can help them.
Yeah, and listen, from the coach's perspective, let's talk about the linebackers just really briefly. Barwin hasn't re-signed. Ogletree's gone. Quinn is gone. So from the middle portion of your defense, there's going to be a lot of changeover happening on that middle section of your defense, which means these two edge guys and the guys in the middle got to pick up the slack until everybody can find their way in the defense. It doesn't happen overnight. So they understand by losing Ogletree, who's a very good player, Quinn, who's been helpful for him, and again, Barwin, I don't know if he'll go back there yet or what he's going to end up doing, but as you look at this, they're going to need stability in those three positions if they expect to be able to take the pressure off of that linebacker core early.
Well, these guys can help with that. Again, Ndamukong visiting with the Rams today.